Good evening, friends. We are all so excited today. This is our 50th international meet. So, we have reasons to celebrate. And joining me today are Paddy or Padmaja Iyengar, Meenakshi Mohan, Sangeeta Sharma, Rupa Rao, and Nivedita Roy. So it's a wonderful day today, and let me begin with four lines. 50 meet strong, where thoughts take graceful flight. Poets connect from oceans far, carrying their inner sea. Words rise like lanterns, shaping warmth from gentle light. Across nations and hearts, verse flows, unbound and free. So, let me introduce our wonderful poets today. But before that, I would like to tell you that this program, this International Poetry Meet, was conceived along with Padmaja Iyengar Paddy initially, and Nivedita Roy has been the either the moderator or the technical facilitator for more than 15 meets. And of course, Dr. Meenakshi Mohan and Dr. Sangeeta Sharma have always been very close to Literary Warriors Group. So, a heartfelt welcome to all the wonderful poets who've joined us and also to the viewers who are either joining us or will join us. So, let me begin with the introductions once again. Padmaja Iyengar Paddy has two poetry collections to her credit, Penchants and Penchants Again. She has edited 6 international multilingual poetry anthologies and 4 English poetry anthologies, of which Amravati Poetic Prism 2016 to 2019 have been recognized by the Limca Book of Records as poetry anthology in most languages. Paddy was honored with Doctor of Literature at the 43rd World Congress of Poets 2024 and Vishishta Sahitya Samman at the recently concluded LWG's Bhasha and Beyond Litfest 3.0. Welcome, Padima. I move on to Dr. Meenakshi Mohan. Dr. Meenakshi Mohan is a scholar, writer, poet, and artist. Her most recent books are The Rebirth of the Demon, Tapestry of Women in Indian Mythology, Symphonies of Life, and she has co-edited an anthology, The Relic. She is on the editorial board for Inquiry on Education, a peer-reviewed journal of National Louis University, Chicago. She's an advisory editor for Confluence UK. Meenakshi has received the Setu Bilingual Journal Award of Excellence and the Panorama International Writer Capital Foundation Award. She also recently received the Litorama Laureate Lifetime Achievement Award. Welcome, Dr. Meenakshi. And moving on, Sangeeta Sharma. Sangeeta Sharma, a Toronto based academic, is the senior editor of Setu, a bilingual, international, peer reviewed journal, and former head English in a degree college affiliated to the University of Mumbai. She has authored a book on Arthur Miller, 3 collections of poems, edited 7 anthologies on poetry, fiction, and criticism, solo and joint, and 2 workbooks on communication. A nemophilist at heart, writing poetry as a romanticist exalts her. Welcome, Dr. Meenakshi, and let me now introduce you to Nivedita Roy. Nivedita Roy, a native of Lucknow currently residing in the Kingdom of Bahrain, is an acclaimed poet and writer. She was the runner-up for the prestigious Reuel International Award 2023 for poetry, conferred by the Significant League. A dedicated teacher, Nivedita has authored 6 poetry collections, a book of essays, and a short story collection. She has also contributed to approximately 40 plus international anthologies. Her poems and articles have been featured in numerous global magazines, newspapers, and online platforms. In addition to writing, She actively hosts literary shows online promoting literature and the arts. Welcome, Nivedita, on your page. Moving on, Rupa Rao. Rupa Rao holds an MBA and a law degree. She enjoys writing, yoga, and nature walks. She is admin at LWG and chief coordinator at IAE. Featured in global anthologies, magazines, and literary platforms, she hosts poetry session, authors chats. She has curated, edited, co-authored 7 poetry anthologies, 1 prose, plus edited a poetry collection and a novella for writer friends. Who are these writer friends? I'll ask her later. So,
Uh, Thank you so much, Neelam. And now it is my honor to introduce the well known founder of LWG, Neelam Saxena Chandra, who is the author of 80 books and holds 3 records in the Limca Book of Records. She has been honored with Sohanlal Dwivedi Puraskar for Children's Literature by Maharashtra State Hindi Sahitya Academy, the Premchand Award by the Ministry of Railways, Rabindranath Tagore International Poetry Award, the Freedom Award by Radio City for Lyrics, the Rural Lifetime Achievement Award, Setu Award for Excellence 2024, and very recently the Sarojini Naidu Award for her wonderful work in the literary space. And in 2014, Forbes India recognized her as one of the 78 most popular authors in the country. So, welcome to each one of you, and back to you, Neela.
thank you, Rupa, for your kind words. And let us now move on to round one. A quiet wish still lingers where the night once gleamed. Its echo fades before it learns the art of being. Like dew that slips away from leaves it softly dreamed, yet in the heart it waits, forever gently seen. Padima, these are my words on incomplete dreams that we often carry in our hearts. Would you like to render a poem on incomplete dreams? Please unmute yourself.
Sure, Neelam. Thank you for having me here. And hello, everyone, once again. And it's lovely to be here at the 50th International Poetry Meet. And it feels really great to be here. And thank you for having me here, Neelam. Thank you. Coming to my poem quickly. The title is Incomplete Dream. I have felt incomplete for far too long now. The one to complete me is no longer there. The canvas on my easel lies covered since long, yet those eyes in the painting haunt me in my dreams. I wake up with a start and try to start painting, but those mesmerizing eyes haunt me and my paintbrush. The eyes chase me wherever I go, blank eyed, blank minded, and blanked out, yet ceaselessly yearning. Will she ever, won't she ever come in my dreams again, throw off that canvas cover, and settle permanently on it? Thank you.
Wow, what a lovely expression of your feelings. Such nice words. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, Padima. Thank
Thank
you also for initiating this international poetry meet once again.
Completely
So,
my honor
moving
and
on,
pleasure.
it was our pleasure. So, moving on, a few lines from my pen. Sky whispers of journeys our feet have yet to trace. Its voice is wide as wonder, calm and bright. It sings of patience folded in its endless space and dreams that rise the moment we take flight. Do you think that the skies whisper, Meenakshi? What do you think would the skies whisper to you?
Okay. So first of all, let me just say thank you, Neelam, from providing this LWG platform. It's very nice. I always look forward to this one. Thoroughly enjoy it. And Rupa, thank you for facilitating the technical assistant and other things. I've talked to you so many times, and all of you from different parts of the world, welcome and really enjoying meeting you all. So I'll move on to my poem. So we were supposed to be writing on a happy poem, so this I wrote during Diwali time. Diwali is past, but I will read this one. When the sky whispered, my mind is like a kite, dancing, spiraling with a long tail, dragging my wandering thoughts of dark shades of smoky grays. Sometimes it rolls and falls back and rises again when it hears the whispers of the sky. Come, celebrate with me the celestial occurrence of the triumph of light over darkness. My thinking perks up. It sheds the foggy thoughts. It gets dressed up in tangerine yellow, matching the color of the newborn sky. It stretches its wings, trying to reach the higher reaves, where the sun is slowly waking up from its wintry nights to brighter days, while my conceptual kite bows to the divine glory of a new day. Down below, as the sun says goodbye and the glory of the moon illuminates the sky, people on earth prepare to celebrate Diwali with lights, lamps, and diyas, brightening the world with joy and the spirit of celebration. Thank you.
That was a wonderful poem, Dr. Meenakshi. Just like the way you paint, it had vivid imagery. So let's move on. A few lines. Dawn brushes quiet rooftops with its silver grace. Soft dew hums secrets only wind can understand. The world wakes slowly, wearing a calm and gentle face, as morning holds the day like a blessing in its hand. What do you like the most about early mornings, dear Sangita ji?
Yes, Neelamji, first let me congratulate you for reaching this milestone of completing 50 international meets and for inviting me, giving me this opportunity to share this wonderful platform where we are celebrating the 50th international meet. On this occasion, as we have this theme of happiness for the first round, I would like to read a poem, Enchanting Early Morns, from this book of mine, Under the Sapphire Sky. Here it goes. Magical are the early morns when nothing else is heard than the waking up intense chirp of the birds. Their dawn chorus that erupt from the misty morn, as effective as a tranquilizer, the soporific hums. The robins alight first with their mumbled hook or tuk or repeated chirr that pours sweet musical mystical syrup in the weary ears. Inured of hearing mechanical routine sounds of automobiles and gizmos, mesmerizing is the witchetty song of the round-bellied common yellow throats. Jubilant is the rich, melodious, rising scree of the blackbirds. The invisible passerines rejuvenating through their coos and chirps. The thick green cover interspersed with enflamed red and yellow flamboyance. The misty, snowy, wafting clouds hanging low are ethereal. This was it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes, it was a really wonderful poem. Does it have the Canada effect or was it written in India?
Yes, very much. You made it out.
So, after this beautiful poem, let's move on. A few lines. some funny one because Nivedita was feeling very hungry a few minutes ago. Oh, golden circle of joy, my round delight. Your cheese is the glue that fixes my soul. One bite, and I forget every worldly fight until the last slice gone and I lose control. So, do you love pizzas, Nivi? I'm sure you do. So, any poem on it?
Yes. Thank you so much, Neelam, for all the opportunities, for the wonderful get-togethers that we keep having. I prefer to call them get-togethers rather than poetry meets because there's always so much warmth, and it is such an honor and a pleasure to be a part once again of the 50th International Meet. And thank you, Padima, for this beautiful thought and initiating it. So I want to wish every admin of the LWG and our journey together. So cheers to that. And now cheers to my poem as well. An ode to a
Us.
pizza. Oh, pizza, dear pizza. How
Oh,
did you land on a plate in India? Rolling pins dished the chapatis. Dal chawal is missing on our thalis. Now you rule the roost. Look at your promotions and boost. How cheesy can you get? What happened when you and the veggies met? Stuffed crust or thin slices? Thou hast created many disguises. Indian palate craves no more for samosa. It's you, your siblings, and mimosa. Granny misses the puri halwa. Rivals envy your chutzpah. Reigning champion of the food ladder, lying quaintly on the youth's platter. Oh, pizza, dear pizza, what havoc are you on our gallbladders? Oh, pizza, dear pizza. And Neelam had said, make a happy poem. So I said, let me make my poet friend smile. Thank you.
I love pizza.
And even if we don't love pizza, we will after listening to your poem.
Thank you.
So moving on, unity is felt where many colors share one sky, where different voices still choose to sing as one. It lives in every greeting that begins with you and I, and in hands that reach across divides when the day is done. What's your take on unity, dear Rupa?
Thank you so much, Neelam, and congratulations on the 50th event today for this year. And I'm sure we'll have many more the coming year. And each one of you has been a major presence with LWG platform, and you leave a mark each time you come here. So thank you to each one of you and anyone who's joined us in the past and are with us today and will be with us as poets or as supporters. So thank you to each one of you. So talking of unity in diversity, the title of my poem is Riot of Heartbeats. Bearing majestic plumes, red, blue, orange, green, at heart, singers. Insects, birds chirp melodies evergreen. Soft fur, sharp quill, slithery skin, creatures in stunning mane, amphibian, mammal, carni, herby, or omnivores, all use brain. Blossoms bloom multi-hued, spanning sizzle of seasons. Small, tiny, wild, fragranced, spread joys for no reason. Snow peaks melt, waterfalls tinkle, ponds pool, flow to the ocean across terra, sweltering, cracked and cool. Flora, fauna, verdant in valleys, mountains, greenlands, gift us shade, home, sustenance, wood to human hands. Stars, planets, meteors, gather in sparkling firmament, sky grand spaces unmatched with light. Evening, dusk in darkest night, trail one another, making earth clock tick right. Skin, garb, food, habits, cultures, geosettings, concerns vary, emotions, aspirations, feelings ride same roller coaster merry. I may discern, judgments may discriminate, views may incriminate. Riotous heartbeats perceive the same greed, hatred, and love intimate. Thank you so much. And I invite dear Neelam for her first poem, which is going to be about the lives of us around her, her friends, and how they are always there around. So, Neelam, over to you to talk about your friendships and friends.
This is dedicated to all my friends who can be seen on the screen. So here goes my poem. You're walking along the lanes of life, holding hands with friends, enjoying the blossoms around, drifting with the breeze without minding the thorns that sometimes prick you. While you keep walking, your friends keep abandoning you. Some because of the path you chose, some because of the path they chose. Some walk away for more adventures, some wander away without any reason, and some just get lost. It's when you suddenly and unknowingly fall down in a large pit, you realize that you are all alone. When all your efforts to pull yourself out fail, you close your eyes, you remember your old friends, perfectly understanding deep in your mind that they are gone forever. However, the moment you open your eyes, you're delighted to find that they have already reached you. They wipe your tears, they lend you their hands, they hug you, they give a peck on your cheeks and pull you out from the pit. Real friends never really go. They are always there, deep in your heart. You only have to summon them with love. Thank you. That was my poem.
Beautiful poem.
And love is the reason, and love for poetry is the reason everyone is here.
Yes.
Wonderful.
In fact, I feel that the greatest thing writing has given me is wonderful friends. So, thank you, all of you who are sitting in the show and people who have joined us. Satvi Chaddaji and Pandeji. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Privileged and honored.
So, we are all enjoying this evening as we celebrate the 50th International Poetry Meet today. We would also like to thank our dear viewers who are seeing our shows or will see our shows and for making our shows feel so nice with your wonderful comments. So, we start the second round with a few words from me. Snowflakes gather like guests dressed in shimmering white. Laughter rises warm against the cold night air. Footprints zigzag in delight under lantern light. Winter throws a party and joy is everywhere. So, Sangeeta ji, I suppose winter is knocking at your door. So, what kind of an evening do you like?
I will read out that poem right away. Before that, I would say that this is also related with friends. How friends change your lives. How evenings change and become beautiful with the presence of your friends. So let me start. It's snowy evening bash. Gray skies flurry and a snowy evening turned magical with the friendly gathering. Clinking teacups, assorted savories, magical lanterns creating patterns varied, exchanges eliciting oohs and ahs, trailing skirts, gowns, and fineries, fragrance aromatic from the esters, lilies, and daisies, jingles and jazz, unraveling its lure, synchronizing feet, tapping the floor, cutlery passed on the table, and flowy upholstery add warmth amongst the animated company. Vignettes of the past and shared history, burgeoning chemistry, chuckles and peals of laughter, heard intermittently, signify the camaraderie. That's it. Thank you.
Such lovely words. Every word looks like if you have chiseled and beautifully organized them. Thank you so much for the wonderful
Thanks
poem.
for the appreciation.
So, friends, moving on to a bit of serious topic, a few lines. She walks with careful steps, though her heart would rather glide. A guest within the rooms where she is meant to belong. She folds her laughter small, keeps her questions to the side, yet the quiet in her eyes has been brave all along. This is what quite a few women still feel. What's your opinion, Nivedita?
Thank you, Neelam, for that beautiful introduction to my poem. So, here once again, congratulating everybody who's present right now and has been a part of our international meet. And this poem also has some connection with Setu because I have contributed this poem to our anthology called Feminino, Kudrate Kamal. So,
Yes.
the moment I heard Sangeeta ji is also joining, I said, okay, let me share this one. It's not my house. It's not my house. It can't be. I nurture it. I replenish it. It's my postal address, but it's not my house. Nostalgia chokes my wavering voice. Memories choke my humble heart. Furnishings evoke tender thoughts, but it's not my house. I nourish the four walls. I cherish the familial bonds. I am tethered to those smiles, but it's not my house. I planted those blooms in the garden. I hung those frames on the walls. I lit the lamps at each sunset. Yet, it's not my house. It's been my abode for ages. I lived through its calm and rages. I presided over the well laid table, least expecting acknowledgement or a label. Yet, it won't be my house. I painted the rainbow on its canvas. I carved myself on its largest cornerstone. My petite frame tidied it up. Yet, it won't be my house. I have a bed in that abode. I quietly arrange my wardrobe. I grapple with my routine, oftentimes ruffled, now and then serene. Yet, it's not my house. It's been a project that I am a mentor. I shall remain, sorry, it shall remain my hearth and shelter, but it's not my house. It's not my house.
Very
Beautiful.
touching poem. Very
Very
touching.
beautiful poem.
Very nice. Very nice. Awesome.
Story of so many people. Very nice. Thank you, dear Nivedita. So, going ahead, a few lines again. They knock so softly, almost lost in morning air. Yet once they stay, our shadows lose their height. A single spark can lift what felt beyond repair and turn the quiet corners of the soul to light. How does a poet spread light, Padima? can you render some poem of yours on the theme?
Sure. Thank you, Neelam, for those beautiful lines that give an introduction to my poem. Thank you so much. And my poem is titled Rays, Rays. They just need a small little gap to enter our life and spread light. Sun's rays are present everywhere to brighten our life and give us hope. So much selflessness in them, so much generosity in them, and they do it all seeking nothing in return. And what do? We spread suspicion, we spread fear, we promote war, we promote hatred. A ray of light is enough to dispel darkness. A small clarification often wards off suspicion. A loving word's often enough to heal the wounded heart. A caring word's often enough to instill confidence and trust. Come, let's be a ray in each other's life to fill it with warmth and to fill it with light. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Very
Hope everybody's houses and hearts remain lighted every day, every hour, every minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we move on. The branches sway with whispers I almost understand. A hidden world calls softly from behind the green and shade. My heart reaches out, though I cannot cross that land. For the path back home is there, but gently fades. Dr. Minakshi, I've seen so many of your paintings in social media and even at your house, and there was one thing I noticed in all of them: the vibrancy. So I was just wondering, have you written any poem that speaks of someone feeling lost? If yes, would love to hear it.
Thank you, Neelam. I think I have written some, and in fact, I'm going to be reading one of my poems that I wrote for my friend, very dear friend, who I knew since the time I came to this country. But recently, she lost her life to dementia. So I'll be reading that poem, and as actually quite a few of my poems have this saddest, tinge. Just like it said, वियोगी होगा पहला कवि, आह से निकला होगा गान, निकल कर आंखों से चुपचाप वही होगी कविता अनजान. So many of my poems have that kind of a thing in there. So the title of this poem is If Only. I look far and beyond, but my mind is blank, cluttered with darkness. If only the brightness of the world outside could fill my mind, perhaps I will remember. If only. Something moves behind those green and beyond the wooden fence. Who are they? The branches dance. Are they telling me something? But nothing comes up. My mind is lost in the labyrinth of dark alleys. If only I could find a way to my lost world. If only. I stare far and beyond. I breathe. I see. I move. I'm alive, but my mind is dead. The credenza, the chair, pictures on the wall. What are they telling me? I search in the crevices and corners of the Cimmerian gloom for some light. If only. Who am I? Who are the people in the pictures? Where am I? I sit and stare far and wide. If only I can find myself. Thank you.
Very touching, very touching.
Very interesting.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Poets are very powerful people because we get to speak about so many difficulties, so many issues, and we speak, we feel, and we are able to convey it to the world. Thank you so much, Dr. Minakshi.
Thank you, Neelam. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So, moving on. Seeds of patience first, so tempers learn to rest. A little kindness, placed in soil of everyday. Truth watered gently, honesty at its best, and hope like sunlight guiding every way. Do you think that we are near universal peace, dear Rupa? Any poem on the theme of peace?
Thank you so much, Neelam. And like you so correctly pointed out, each poet has wielded their, should I say, weapon or tool to communicate and articulate feelings, emotions, beauty, sublime, and issues which really matter, talking of dementia as well. And each one of them so touching, so beautiful. And may the soul of the person rest in peace who has lost the battle with dementia. Thank you so much for all the poems. And my poem called Seeds of Peace goes as follows: penning prose, inking peace poesy, captures world turmoils not so rosy. Humans split thriving lives crazy. Differences grow in magnitude, heighten distances in gratitude. Holding a pen is transforming, courage and ink links healing, cathartic and empowering, inspirational is writing, inspires thoughts, inking, empowers action. Soldiers become weapons of war, thinkers, strategists aim for the stars. Few join the think tanks in a world with ranks to communicate, inspire, write. Poets pick up the writing tool to transform with thoughts radical, stabbing at reform. Truth, bittersweet, ugly, reaffirm. Poets wield pen with creativity, mirroring status quo of society, sowing seeds of change with ferocity, adding daily poetry classes for every little boy and lasses, for grown of any economical classes, to meditate, sketch, draw, ink, articulate, vent in verse, think, letting loose, barred in them, collectively share, exchange, will inspire, slow yet sure social change. This is my solution to peace. Thank you so much, Neelam. And I invite you now to ask you, what does poetry mean to you, dear Neelam? Over to you.
So, just like friends are always in my heart, poetry is also deeply embedded in my heart. So, this poem was written when I couldn't write anything for long, not because thoughts were not coming, but because I was very busy with work. So, this poem is titled Lovers. It's raining cats and dogs. I miss my regular walk. I'm locked up with poetry in my large bedroom. It's not so often that we meet these days. I've been rather busy with my work. Poetry takes me gently in its embrace. It's the same old feeling of love. The warmth soothes my heart. There are neither complaints nor grudges. Poetry holds my hands as if we have always been one. I ask, how have you been? She says, why do you ask? I stammer, but because I've neglected you. She says, I've never been away from you. And could I? After all, you and I are welded to each other. I'm a part of you. Yes, indeed. Poetry is like a lover who doesn't part. They are always in each other. They are always in each other. So that was my poem. So here we come to the end of the 50th special session, and special love to Padima, Dr. Sangeeta, Dr. Meenakshi, Nivedita, Rupa, and Satbir Chadaji, who has been here listening to all our poems right from the beginning.
Correct.
So I consider all of you as a part of Literary Warriors group, and I really can't thank you, because Literary Warriors group is a family and we don't thank family.
Family.
I only pass on lots and lots of love. Keep writing. We look forward to more associations in poetry. We've already had so many associations with each one of us, amidst each one of us. So we hope to, make this bond stronger every time we meet online or offline. Love you so much. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye.
Good night. Good day.
Good night.
Good night, everyone from India.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you. Thank you.